Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps, and I wanted to share a project with you today based on the Tropical Chic stamp set. Here we go. And this one is a great lesson about how to create a collage focal point, and this is our card here for Stamps in the Mail Club. The other thing that this video tutorial is going to teach you about is how to do this faux rock and roll technique. So rock and roll is an old technique that all of us used to do with our stamping, but this gives you some really great tips for using it with the current Stampin' Up ink pads. So let me give you some tips for stamping, and grab your Stamps in the Mail Club kit and we'll get started. We'll pull these pieces out. I love these little sequins here in this Stamps in the Mail Club kit, and you're going to need 3 for this project and 2 for the final project. So go ahead and set your directions aside, and we have a piece of Whisper White cardstock that I'm just going to fold in half. Alright, and then we have all these fun pieces. Let me first show you the cardstock though. Let's see how we can see it. There we go. It is done with the Subtles Textures folder, which is this one right here, and it's for the Big Shot, and it turns any cardstock you like into textured cardstock. So you always have it in every color. Whatever cardstock you have, you can make it textured. One of the cool features of this is this line here at the end, so you can even line up your paper to get it perfectly straight, which is a wonderful change for these new folders. And this is the folder, if you've looked in the catalog and you said, that folder doesn't look like anything, this is that one. So you're going to go ahead and pop it on the back here with some Stampin' Dimensionals, and it's going to get layered here. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to create a focal point for our collage. So to sort of anchor our focal point, I have this piece of Designer Series paper from the Tropical Escape set, or Tropical Escape paper, which is on sale during July. So you can buy 3, get 1 free, mix and match with all the other papers that are in the special. But I promised you some 6x6 paper crafting hacks this month, and so this one basically takes a 6x6 sheet of paper. The Tropical Escape comes 6x6, and I'm showing you that you can get 4 from a single sheet of these, of the circles, up to 3 inches. So whatever you want to cut with your circles, framelits, or smaller with punches. So this is going to give us a focal point here. Then I have my piece here, which is done with the Tropical Thinlits dies, and of which, here, I'll show you my deal here, of which there are a whole bunch. So this one is actually done with these 2 Thinlits, and they go through the Big Shot together. And then this is the outer rim that gets cut from those. So, and if you're wondering about this crafting hack, my mom made this for me. It's just a inexpensive plastic frame and then a sheet of magnet, sticker magnet stuck to it, which is perfect because then you can stick your dies and just set them where you need them. So, alright, so this is going to go here next, and then I'm going to add our greeting, and I'm going to do that using the Tropical Chic stamp set. We're dog sitting right now, and there must be a really exciting squirrel upstairs in case you can't hear that. But I'm going to show you my assembly directions here, and that is basically to figure out where you want this to fall, and then just pop a Stampin' Dimensional on it. And that Stampin' Dimensional serves not only to anchor that leaf, but also to add our greeting here. Then the next piece here is going to be one that shows our rock and roll technique, or our faux rock and roll technique. So I could take this and my Granny Apple Green ink, which I love, and I could ink the whole stamp in Granny Apple Green and go ahead and stamp it on there, and it's beautiful. But it's even prettier if you add a little color variety to it. So with these new pads, they're great, except they release ink really strongly, which means that when you rock and roll the traditional way, you end up with just a ring of color. And we don't want that. We want a soft graded color change. So I'm going to take my shaded spruce here, love these stickers with the new inks, and I'm going to take a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to dab, make sure you don't wipe or you'll change the texture of the image. I'm just going to dab around the edge of my stamp here. Okay, so now you can see we have a darker edge and a lighter center, and then when I stamp on pre-die cut pieces, I always stamp upside down. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on here, use a bigger block to squish it down, and there we have our die cut piece. So this is pretty, this is really pretty. So, all right, so this is going to get added to our project piece here. And let's see, I think if I go ahead and start sticking stuff down, where my dimensionals go, I can go ahead and add these pieces. So I love dimensionals. You probably noticed that if you watched any of my videos. I go through them a lot. Be careful with a card like this that's mostly white that you keep your hands clean, otherwise you end up with smudges. I don't have any smudges yet, but I'm saying that because they're going to end up here sooner or later. I'm horrible at keeping my hands clean. It's a true stamper, right? Somebody who has ink on their fingers. Okay. All right, so we have our basic design done, but the next thing I'm going to do is add our flower, and so for that I have Blushing Bride, and this is still one of the older style foam pads. If you haven't gotten the new ones yet, you can get just the new colors actually at a nice discount, or you can mix and match and just get the ones a la carte that you want. So I'm going to ink this up in Blushing Bride and pop this on with a Stampin' Dimensional. So I'll add that. And then the last thing I'm going to, we'll layer this on the top. So now we have our sort of collage-y piece. We have some different layers. We have a focal point, which is created by the circle. And then we're going to add just a little bit of bling to draw the eye a little bit further. And so this, I'm going to go ahead and put one here. And then I'll pop one up here. And usually with stuff like this, you want to work in odd numbers. So 3 is great. And with these little sequins, you want to make sure that your fingernail gets all the way underneath the glue dot so that the glue dot comes with it. So there we have our finished focal point card. So really fun with a faux rock and roll technique, just a nice way. You could do even the same thing with the Blushing Bride in a different color here to sort of two-tone that, but especially when you're using tropical chic and you have those pretty flower or pretty leaf patterns, this is a great technique to use. So make sure you pull it out. If you haven't requested your Stamps the Mail Club kit, make sure you order one soon. They're a limited supply this month, and you can do that on my website at lovenstamps.com. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can do that on YouTube, Loven Stamps, and make sure you click that little bell icon so that you will be notified when I post new things. And they've changed their system a little bit, so if you don't click the bell, you're not going to hear. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have questions, and happy stamping. Oh, one little afterward. Shaded Spruce. Here I have a little label maker. I use it to put the labels on my sponge dauber. So then I'll know next time I pull mine out that this one is a perfect color for Shaded Spruce. So sorry, I meant to mention that hack earlier and I just totally blipped it. So happy stamping. Thanks again for watching.